Good morning. On behalf of Watertown Area Public Schools, I would like to welcome the veterans, their families, parents of veterans, our high school students, staff, and community members to our Veterans Day program, where we are honoring all who have served. The proper flag etiquette is for all who are able to stand, remove their hats, face the flag, and place their right hand over their heart. Please remain standing through the singing of our national anthem. At this time, please stand for the advancement of the colors of the national anthem.
Flags. One step back. Right hand salute.
Thank you, choir students, for the beautiful rendition of the national anthem. I would now like to recognize our platform guests. Mr. Schuler, Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Amy Mant, and our guest speaker, Marine and Watertown High School alum, Adam Falk. Next, I would like to welcome Emily Hexel, Elijah Rowan, Peyton Rickard, and William Mant to the podium for some introductory remarks.
The Star Spangled Banner was written almost 200 years ago by Francis Scott Key. He calls America the land of the free and the home of the brave. Those words are as true today as they were then. Throughout our nation's history, American women and men have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom. and today we honor those veterans in our community. It should be noted for the students here today that Veterans Day is an opportunity to celebrate all veterans, living and deceased. We can never fully repay our debt of gratitude to the more than 650,000 American service members who died in battle, or the 1.4 million who are wounded. We can, however, recognize and thank the 25 million veterans still living today, including our guests. On behalf of Watertown Mayor, we welcome you and thank you.
Patriotism isn't just about waving a flag or chanting slogans. It's about the willingness to put your own comfort aside for the sake of something greater. Today, our world seems obsessed with personal gains and convenience. So the ultimate expression of love for one's country is sacrifice. As the saying goes, you can choose courage or you can choose comfort. You cannot have both. This is true in the context of service. When individuals enlist in the military or commit themselves to serve their country in any capacity, they step into a situation where courage is not just a choice, it's a necessity. It's easy to enjoy the perks of freedom while curled up on the couch, but true patriotism calls for action and to have the persistence to adapt and solve problems. I love the United States because our country is not a finished work. It is an ongoing collaborative project. So I encourage all of you here today to pledge patriotism and be a part of the solution and continue serving in various ways, whether it be at the local level to enlisting to serve. Thank you to the guests today. Your sacrifices do not go unnoticed. Your commitment shines as a powerful reminder of what it really means to be patriotic.
Here's to you, the brave individuals who embody the essence of sacrifice and define what patriotism truly stands for. Once you enlisted, you quickly learned your life isn't just your own anymore. You're away from family and friends for long periods of time, missing birthdays, holidays, and those little everyday moments that make life truly matter. My fellow classmates, imagine missing out on the laughter of your loved ones or the comfort of your own bed just to fulfill duties that most people will never experience. It's not easy. Then there's that physical toll. Training is intense and often grueling. Soldiers constantly push their bodies to the limits. Again, fellow classmates, be honest. How many of you hit the snooze button a few too many times this morning? These men and women here today did not have that luxury. They faced harsh conditions, sleepless nights, and a level of physical fitness that would leave most of us gasping for breath. It's not just about being tough. It's about surviving and doing your job, sometimes under enemy fire. Today is our privilege to say thank you to all of America's veterans, and specifically our local veteran community. We appreciate your service and honor you today and every day.
You may notice over 250 flags decorating the front lawn of the high school, collectively known as Field of Flags. Each flag honors a different hero who served in the American Armed Forces. Behind each flag is a unique story about courage and freedom, a story about sacrifice, a story with honor. Mr. Urban has actively worked with the Disabled Veterans of America's fundraiser, Field of Flags, to help honor local veterans and raise critical funds to support our ill and injured heroes. These stories are available on the Disabled American Veterans website. Today, we gather to celebrate America's veterans, particularly those in our community. It is important to recognize our local American Legion's generous contribution of $1,500 to Watertown Mary High School so these flags could be purchased. A vivid reminder that we inhabit the land of the free and the home of the brave. I encourage you to walk downtown in both Watertown and Mary. Take time to appreciate the memorials. They, like the fields out front, remind us of the integrity, sacrifice, and love for our nation that these brave individuals demonstrate. Let's honor these heroes.
All right, Jerry, turn off your phone. preamble to the American Legion Constitution states 10 specific purposes. We're going to recognize at least 2 of these purposes that will be evident in today's program. First, foster and perpetuate 100% Americanism. Second, to instill a sense of individual obligation to community, state, and nation. Boys and girls recipients, please join me up front. While they're coming up here, I want to explain that Boys and Girls State is sponsored by the American Legion. The program is held on a college campus in June and teaches how the government works while developing leadership skills and appreciation for your rights as a citizen. Participants often run for office, learn public speaking, create and enforce laws to run a working government. Girls, when I say your name, please step forward. This year, these are our 10 recipients. Riley Delaney, Emily Hexel, Eliza Rowan, Peyton Rickard, Amaya Watney. Boys, please step forward when I say your name. Griffin Getzko, Ben Hartstorm, Drew Isaacson, Matthew Isaacson, and William Mann. Thank you to our local American Legion and Legion Auxiliary for paying for all the expenses for these student leaders to attend Boys and Girls State. The Watertown Mayor Public School District appreciates your dedication to and donation to our future leaders. I will now welcome Drew Isaacson to the stage. Thank you, Boys and Girls State representatives.
At this time, we would like to welcome today's guest speaker, Marine Adam Falk. He's a Watertown Mayor High School alumni, class of 2004, who has given service to our country. While at Watertown Mayor High School, Adam liked math, science, and shop classes. He fondly remembers teachers like Mr. Carroll, Mr. Kugler, and Mr. Rebell. Adam was a high school student when 9/11 happened. He remembers. In fact, that was the reason that solidified his decision to join the Marines.
A Marine is not just part of a brotherhood or sisterhood. It's a warriorhood. Let's talk about being a soldier. It's a topic that often gets a lot of attention, but the truth is, it's a whole lot more complicated than most people realize. When you think of a soldier, you might imagine someone in uniform, standing tall and proud. But what you don't often see are the countless sacrifices they make every single day. Adam went to basic training, or boot camp, at the Marine Corps Recruiting District in San Diego, California, then went to training at Camp Pendleton in California. Today, he will share about going to mainland Japan, South Korea, and Okinawa, Japan, along with life as a soldier. We will also have some slides playing on the screen behind him as he speaks. Please welcome Adam Falk.
Good morning, Watertown Mayor, students, and staff. And my fellow service members, thank you for welcoming me here today. Last year, the speaker talked about their choice to serve. Today, I am here to share my experiences and tell some stories from my time in the Marines and give advice on how we can honor our Veterans Day. In high school, after 9/11, I realized I wanted to be in the military. I chose to be a Marine because I thought that they were the best branch, and I was right. I enlisted right after high school, and I went to the training in Camp, right outside Camp Pendleton, California. My first duty station was Iwakuni, Japan, which was the Japanese base where they planned the Pearl Harbor attacks back in the day. I deployed to Iraq out of there, and then I extended my contract so that I could deploy again to Iraq. Then I was stationed in Camp Pendleton, and then I got out and became an electrician. I served 8 years in total, and I spent a lot of time in Japan and Okinawa, and a little bit in South Korea and some other countries over there. When the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan were dying down, I realized I needed to come home and raise my son right. I don't know if I'm doing a good job of that or not, but he's here. Many of you wonder what it's like to live on a base. So when you're stateside, a lot of times you're either living in a squad bay with rows of bunk beds or in a barracks where you have dorm-like housing. Overseas, you might be sleeping in tents or wooden shacks or buildings, whether they're nice or not so nice. So there were some challenging things we experienced when we were deployed, but the transition from that to regular life was equally as difficult. One thing I missed and didn't expect to miss was the smell of fresh cut grass. That was something that they just don't have in most desert countries. When I was in Okinawa, I was in charge of maintaining and overseeing a 4-story building filled with several hundred college-age Marines. That was quite the handful. Some times in the military, you say to yourself, this is the coolest thing I've ever done. And then the next day, you might turn around and say, this is the dumbest thing I've had to do in my entire life. I've gotten to stand in the green room in North Korea, climb Mount Fuji with some Japanese Rangers, and toast with some sake while I was underage. As part of a ship commissioning, gotten to blow stuff up, fly around in airplanes and helicopters, and I've had to sleep against a wall while dust's falling on my face while bullets are hitting. I've had to stay up for days. I've lost some really close buddies. I missed the birth of my son. I was in Iraq at the time. Had to scrub toilets, deal with mountains of paperwork, and run so much that my knees still hurt. I made some of the closest friends that you could ever have. I've learned empathy and respect and the ability to work with anyone from any background, race, religion, and work together as a team to accomplish whatever goals we have. One funny story, we found out one of the guys in my platoon was ticklish, and we held him down and tickled him until he started crying. So my advice to anyone considering service, go ahead and do it. It's not that bad. Last, on this day and every day, something you can do to honor veterans. A simple thank you is good. Don't ask if you ever killed anybody. That's personal and not really appropriate for in public conversation. And they're a person just like you. If you have questions, ask. Just talk to them like you're a regular person. Thank you for this opportunity. I urge you to develop your own work ethic and take ownership of your decisions. Remember, once a Royal, always a Royal. To my fellow Marines, Semper Fi, fellow service members and loved ones, this is a day to celebrate our sacrifices and triumphs, and God bless America.
We will now have Matthew Isaacson come up, and he will read each of the branches of government, while Mr. Assad plays the armed forces. So that you know what I don't have up here, I don't have the list of what you play in order. Do you know it? What am I doing here? Perfect.
Thank you, Mr. Ossett and the band. Great job tonight. Again, no matter what branch you served in, whether during peacetime or wartime, whatever your job path or how many times you have served, stepping forward and committing yourself to service in the military was a brave and selfless act. Remember, veterans always put America first. Today, we put veterans first. In closing, the purpose of this program is to recognize all those among us who have been part of the United States military. Our veterans and active duty service members, your service and sacrifice have kept our country safe and free. Veterans, please stand if you are able to be acknowledged for the round of applause for our appreciation for your service. Thank you. At this time, please stand for the retiring of the colors. I would ask the Legion members, honored vets. At this time, we're not going to retire the colors. I would ask the Legion members, honored vets, and their families to proceed and walk out to the back of the auditorium.
Thank you for your attention during our program. Students, you are now dismissed to go to your second period class.